Yo guys, what's up? How you doing? I hope all of you are doing really well. Um, well, I've not done one of these for a long time. Those of you who followed the channel from when um, we started the channel to do in-house videos like this. It was primarily started to do football, talk about Chelsea, as I'm a Chelsea fan, as you can see. But the channel did transform into something else. But anyway, I had to do one of these, but I've got plans to start another channel that is going to primarily talk about football. But for now, I have to talk about this right here on here. And as you can see, I'm already dressed in Chelsea colours. It means I'm going to talk about Chelsea. Now, Chelsea fans have had enough of these new owners. I like to call them these American clowns who don't understand anything about football. And this is actually trending on every piece of social media: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or you call it X these days. This is actually trending, and what I'm talking about is Chelsea fans have decided they've had enough. Last week we got beat by Brighton 2 times, not once, 2 times in a week. We got kicked out of the FA Cup, and 3 days later they smashed our asses, they smashed us, they spanked us in the Premier League, and as I talk right now we're in 6th position. And after that game, something really happened among us Chelsea fans. Those of you who went at the Amex, that is down the coast at Brighton, you know very well what I'm talking about. Chelsea fans all got together and realized this is enough. This is enough. They need to know that we are not just like any other club. Chelsea stands for excellence. And Chelsea was built differently from these other small, London clubs. You know who I mean. Chelsea Football Club. It's in the DNA. I'll show you something. So behind me here, I'll bring it close here. As you can see here, yeah. So I've got John Terry there, lived in the Premier League. I've got Lampard. I've got Zola. I've got Kerry Dixon. I've got all sorts of people on this fantastic piece of memorabilia. But anyway, what I'm trying to show you is the tradition of Chelsea Football Club. Excuse me. So I'll put that back there. And I get back to the point. So anyway, Chelsea fans, those of you who went to who went down to the south coast to watch Chelsea get beat 2 times in 1 week by Brighton, yeah, by Brighton, of all clubs, by Brighton, yeah, 2 times. They've had enough, and as I'm talking about, this is trending on every piece of social media, and even mainstream media has picked it up. But there is going to be a peaceful protest on the 25th of February at Stamford Bridge, at the Bravo Gate. Those of you who go to Chelsea Football Club, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know where I'm talking about, you can contact any Chelsea fans, they'll show you. You can even look up the map of Chelsea football and you see where the Bravo Gate is. So there's going to be a peaceful protest over there by the Chelsea fans, and it's a soft reminder to the new owners that Chelsea are not, you're not going to turn us into an Arsenal, whereby the last time they actually won the Premier League was nearly 25 years ago when Wenger was there. And they're happy to have that. And being 4th for them is an achievement, being in the top 4. But Chelsea is different. Chelsea was meant to win trophies, and not only just any trophies. I'm talking about the Premier League, and the Champions League. We have to be in the Champions League. For the last 3 years, Chelsea have not been in the Champions League. I mean, when these new owners bought us, we were champions of Europe and champions of Europe. So we're champions of Europe and champions of the world because we just won the FIFA Club World Cup Championship. So within 3 years, we've had the worst runs that I can remember. We've ended up 12th, 5th, and now we are 6th right now, and that's going down. But briefly, I want to show you why Chelsea fans listen. We are not stupid. We know that if something changes, that it takes time, a year. But even within a year, you have to have ambition. You know what you're trying to do. And right now, what we see at Chelsea Football Club is absolutely laughable. We've gone from first of all, the leadership at Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club is owned by a consortium. This consortium consists of Todd Bowley, the American businessman. On one side, he owns 39% of the club, and Clear Lake, that's led by Egbali. I can't say the name properly. I probably destroyed it, but he deserves it. On the other side, and they own Clear Lake. They own 61% of the club, and these two groups actually don't even see eye to eye. As much as I know, that's a red flag already. So, Todd Bowley wanted to continue the club in its former glory, bringing big stars and keep Chelsea up there. And then Egbali, who leads Clear Lake. He's got a different vision. His vision is by every young player in the world, every young player in the world, no experience, put them in our club. We have over 45 players on our books, and we have of the 45, I think about 25 wingers or midfielders. We have 2 strikers, Nicholas Jackson and the young boy we got from Barcelona. He's injured. He's out for the season. Nicholas Jackson is out now for the season as well. But this is what I'm talking about. And another thing they've started doing, another thing they did is, so these are the 2 groups that own Chelsea, and actually each one of them wants to buy out the other, and that's already a red flag. So, the point Chelsea fans are making is that they're not going to sit back and see their club come from serial contenders of the Premier League and the Champions League. We're one of the big clubs in Europe, one of the top 5 biggest clubs in the world. We're not going to come from that to actually just allowing mediocrity, to persist. Season up. This has been 3 years now. So the first telltale sign is how the recruitment is really, really bad. And obviously there's 2 camps. One is pulling the other side, one is pulling the other side. That's another red flag as well. So anyway, the Chelsea fans have had enough. And listen, this all started, Chelsea Football Club, as you remember, in 3 years ago was stolen, swindled, embezzled from the rightful owner, which is Mr. Roman Abramovich. He should be the owner of Chelsea Football Club because he was not only an owner, he loved football, and everything he did was for the excellence of Chelsea. And then in the 19 to 20 years that he owned Chelsea, Chelsea became the most successful English club during that period, winning everything, winning 5 Premier Leagues, winning the Champions League twice, winning the FA Cup about 5-6 times, winning the League Cup so many times, and competing the Champions League every year, every year. So anyway, Mr. Abramovich, this all started when this Ukraine war started, and you see, Americans are very clever. When they want to gain something, Americans, they like doing this. Wherever there's violence and war, they come in and gain. They make money. They like that, and this is why America is the richest country. These wars, that's where they gain. So they created this atmosphere that everything Russian is bad, and it starts all the way from that side. But actually, their eyes were on all Russian businesses in Europe. They were envying the how Russians are doing their business in around Europe. So Mr. Roman Abramovich got caught up in that. They said, even though he had owned the club for 19 years, 20 years, he passed the fit and proper test for owning a Premier League club. There was nothing. And he actually helped out on the FA. A lot of these young players, a lot of the players who have gone on to play for England, came through the Chelsea Youth Academy, and he supported everything. And Chelsea is an institution. What he's done down there in Chelsea is testament to the man. Anyway, so they created all this dark cloud over anything Russian, and in the end, the UK government sanctioned Roman Abramovich, whatever that means, sanctioned. Literally, they say, we are taking Chelsea Football Club, you can't own it. Yeah? Just in one day, they took it away. And Chelsea Football Club is one of the biggest clubs in the world, one of the top 5 biggest clubs in the world, ladies and gentlemen. So that already was like a carrot out there. And guess who steps in? Guess who steps in amidst all this Roman Abramovich, Russia and all that? The Americans step in. The Americans step in and take Chelsea Football Club from the rightful owner, Roman Abramovich. And that's when this decline of the football club started. And they came to us telling us lies that we are going to continue with the Chelsea DNA and what Chelsea stands for. We're going to win trophies. We're going to compete in the Champions League year in, year out. 3 years now. 3 years. The first thing they did, which was a telltale sign, was their appointments of managers. So we had Thomas Tuchel as the Chelsea manager at the time, and he had won the Champions League for Chelsea. He had made us champions of Europe just because he voiced he wanted to. He's a winner, Tuchel. This is the thing what Roman Abramovich used to do. He only wanted winners around the club. So he appointed Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel won us the Champions League. I can name you the list of managers that Roman Abramovich, from Mourinho to Ancelotti to Thomas Tuchel to managers like Phil Scolari, who managed Brazil, the World Cup winner. He only wanted winners, and it's simple. Football is simple, good players. Good players plus top managers equals excellence. Equals excellence. You cannot do it any other way. So these clowns come into town and they said, you know what, we're going to change it up. So we're going to buy a lot of youngsters, spend nearly £2 billion right now they've spent, on a lot of youngsters. And let's get rid of the best manager in the world at that moment, Thomas Tuchel, who's won the Champions League, who's won the Club World Cup Championship. Let's get rid of him and let's replace him with Graham Potter. Graham Potter. This guy, Jesus Christ, I don't know. Some people are just born lucky. So his history in the game was coaching the second league team in Sweden, and then from there he came to Brighton. Brighton had a few finishes in mid-table, like two years in 6th, 7th. So these Americans think, you know what, he's the best thing there is. So let's sack a Champions League winning coach, and then we replace him with someone from mid-table. And let's give all this young talent to him, and he's the man to take us forward. That was a red flag, you know. And he was sacked 8 months later, you know. It went so bad that, you know, this guy could just open his mouth and, you know, he was out of his depth. You know, he did not belong there. He did not belong there. So anyway, then they replaced him with Lampard. Lampard had already failed at Chelsea. You know, that went really badly. And then a few fans started making a few noises, and then they got Pochettino. You know, now Pochettino is not the best of the managers that you could get, but at least he had experience in at Tottenham. He had taken Tottenham to the Champions League final. You know, that is an achievement. Tottenham to Champions League final. They got beat there by Liverpool, and he kept Tottenham competing. You know, punching above their weight, really. You know, in 5th, 4th. You know, that is achievement. So he's also managed one of the biggest, in fact, the biggest club in France, which is PSG. He managed PSG, managing the likes of Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, you know, and the pressure there. So he had been, he won the league there, he won the league double there, you know, the French Cup, and took them into semi-final of the Champions League. So it was at least, you know, if you're going to get rid of Thomas Tuchel, that's probably, you know, not the best, but at least he knows what good looks like. So we get him in. And the previous season with Thomas Tuchel, with Graham Potter, we ended 12th in the league. Chelsea's worst position in the last 20 years. So he gets us from there to 5th position. We were 2 points off making the Champions League. And I'm talking about Pochettino here. 2 points off from making the Champions League. And from there, it was unlucky because Aston Villa just pipped us the Champions League. I'm talking about last season, you know. That's Pochettino. So Pochettino got us from 12th to 5th, within 2 points of the Champions League, and we made a cup final. Got beat by Liverpool. Got beat by the best team in the country, which is Liverpool last year, and we only lost to penalties anyway. It was an extra time winner by Van Dijk header. I remember it was very close, that game. We made the semi-final in the FA Cup, and we're 2 points off the Champions League. That's progress. So Pochettino spoke to the board and said, listen, you know, we're progressing well. What I want is another top striker, midfielder, and a defender, because I'm at Chelsea and I want to win things, you know. Chelsea means winning things. Now, they didn't like that. All they want is a yes man, you know. So Pochettino was swiftly sacked, and we are thinking, okay, they've sacked Pochettino. Let's see what they go and get for us. What's coming in next? Guess what they do? You know, if you thought Graham Potter was worse, you know, because I think a Brighton manager should not manage Chelsea, you know. They go below the Premier League. This is how these idiots really think. They go to the Championship and get Enzo Maresca, for God's sake, Enzo Maresca, a Chelsea manager. It looks like under this new management, anyone can manage Chelsea Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And this is what, they're making mistake after mistake, and this is why, as Chelsea fans, we're not going to sit back and allow this mediocrity to happen, because this is how clubs start sliding. You've seen it with Manchester United. It's over 15 years now with the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson. Manchester United is in 15th. As I speak today, they're 15th. They start 15th. And their fans are not making a fuss about it because they have become accustomed to that. Now, I've got one of my friends, Big Phil, Phil Peters, and he's a Man United fan. And it makes me laugh. The things now that makes him excited about United is we won the League Cup last year. League Cup, that's Carabao Cup, League Cup. That gets him excited, and he gets excited about young stars in the academy. Now, once you start sliding that way, ladies and gentlemen, you're finished. You're finished. So, Chelsea Football Club is different. Its DNA was purely built on football excellence and winning trophies. There's nothing else. Coming second is not an option to Chelsea. No, this is what the fans know, and this is what the club mentality used to be, ladies and gentlemen. But now we're getting in people like Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho. You know, these are the mistakes. We let Raheem Sterling go to Arsenal. Raheem Sterling, who's a serial winner, who's won 5, 6 Premier Leagues at City, and we bring in Jadon Sancho, who nobody wants. You know, he's been a bad apple at United. Recently, he's been tweeting, you know, trying to poke what's in that camp. Yeah, what does he do on the when you see Jadon Sancho play football? Listen, he's a fraud. You know, Jadon Sancho is a fraud. He's a fraud. He's not a footballer. You know, he gets the ball, does 1 or 2, you know, legs over the ball, and then pushes back in midfield, and that is his 90 minutes. He has no penetration. He has no shots on goal. I can't see his assists yet. And then we go in, and we give, we get a loan deal with Man United with an obligation to buy if we finish 14th. Now, these are the levels that Chelsea Football Club are. You know, we've lowered the levels so badly. Now, we're going to sign Jadon Sancho if we finish 14th and above, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it should be if we finish 4th and above, Champions League and above. Now, that is something to think. You know, he's come in and he's helped us to get to that level. And he's one of the worst players. We had better players at the club. You know, we had better players at the club than Jadon Sancho. There's no reason why he came in. There's no reason why he came in. Anyway, these are some of the decisions. Now, someone like Maresca should never be anywhere. Should never be anywhere. The Chelsea job. You cannot bring a championship manager. You're going to play like a championship team. Now you see how we play. You know, the club is crying out for another striker to help Nicholas Jackson out. You know, in the January window, we brought another 19-year-old in, winger or midfielder, I don't know, something like that. You know, and this is why the Chelsea fans have had enough, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea fans have had enough, ladies and gentlemen, and on the 25th of this month, that's before the start of before the game against Southampton. We could play Southampton, so it's a Tuesday, 25th of Feb. We play Southampton on a Tuesday, on the 25th of Feb. Or Chelsea fans are going to do a peaceful protest to remind these guys that, listen, you bought the wrong club. They bought the wrong club. If they wanted to do another thing they've gone and done is try to copy the Brighton. Imagine Chelsea copying the Brighton setup. You know, so Brighton is a small club, and they know what they have to do. They get players on the cheap, put them in the window in the Premier League, and then they sell them on to the bigger clubs like Chelsea. Now that is the Brighton copy. This is how they do things. This is their because they're a small club. They know they're a small club. Now we went to Brighton. Not only did we get a manager there, not only did we buy players there, we bought about 4 players from there now. Caicedo, who's turned out to be good. Cucurella. You know, the jury's still out with Cucurella, whether he's good or not good. Anyway, you tell me what you think. But we went and got the manager there, you know, and then not only did we stop on that, we went and we got their recruitment. The guy who was their recruitment team. We got the recruitment team into Stamford Bridge. So what these clowns are trying to do is turn Chelsea Football Club into a Brighton. Instead of aspiring to stay up there fighting with the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, the top clubs, they're aspiring to be like Brighton. Now, Chelsea Football Club is never gonna be a feeder club, you know, because the fan base will never admit to that. We are not a small club that gets players to sell them on, you know. Yeah. Now you look at players like Cole Palmer. I feel sorry for the guy because this guy deserves to be in a Premier League winning team, in a Champions League playing team. He doesn't deserve to be scrapping it out there. You know, we're in this other small tournament, the conference, new thing that UEFA thrown in. It's not even a trophy. That is not an achievement if we win that. I hope we don't win that because it's not an achievement. Chelsea Football Club means Premier League and Champions League football. So I'm going to have to end this vlog here. I hope I've been as calm as I can because as a Chelsea fan, this has been burning. It's been burning inside me. And today I said, you know what, I've got to support I've got to stand up and, fight for my club. And a lot of you people think that, there's a lot of people who think that football is just a game. Now, you're so wrong. Football is not just a game, ladies and gentlemen. Football is life, Everybody remembers the lockdown in 2020. For 2 years, there was no football. And if you look properly and on the Ministry of Health records, more people committed suicide during that time, young men, during that time than any other time. And this was attributed to lack of, football, because, listen, people, underestimate what football, but for a lot of people, we go day by day. Football gets us there. At the end of the weekend, your club is going to play. You're gonna go to the stadium, or you're gonna watch them on TV, whatever, and that keeps you going. Yeah, your family is very, very important. So after your family, football is the next thing that keeps us alive. And do not tell me that football is just a game. It's not. It's more than a game. Football is life. And when these idiots come into town and start messing with Chelsea Football Club, dragging us into the gutters, you're messing with my life. And this is why us Chelsea fans are standing up and saying, listen, enough is enough. Blue Co out, Clear Lake out. They need to sell out. You need to sell the club to somebody who understands what football. For another thing, these Americans, they don't know anything about football. They call it soccer. They call it soccer. Anyone who calls football soccer should never be anywhere near a football club because they don't understand it. Go back to America. Go and, invest in basketball, American rugby. You call it football. Idiot. That's never been football. It's American rugby. Invest in that. Ice hockey, golf, all those games. Go invest in that. Stay out of Chelsea Football Club. We're saying enough is enough. Sell up and take Maresca with you. That manager, championship manager, take him with you. We don't need him. We want top managers, top players at Chelsea because that's what Chelsea is all about. So I'm going to stop this vlog here, ladies and gentlemen. But if you're a Chelsea fan, this was for you because there's going to be this protest at Stamford Bridge on the 25th of Feb, and Chelsea fans, it's a peaceful protest. We just want to have our message heard that we won't stand for mediocrity, and this is Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club means winning Premier Leagues and Champions League. Don't tell me anything else. If you think you bought Chelsea Football Club to play in the conference to be 12th, you got it wrong. Sell up, sell up. Blue Co, all of you, Egbali, Bole, anybody associated with this consortium, sell up to somebody who understands football, someone who understands football, Chelsea Football Club. I'll end this here, guys. And if you're a Chelsea fan and a football fan who understands my point of view, please subscribe, share this message, send it out so that people get to know. So don't forget, guys,